Hi friends, it's Miss Sherb or Miss Caroline again. Today I'm going to be talking about a vocabulary strategy that we have worked on in our speech groups called the EET or Expanding Expressions Tool. And this year we've really focused on the first three of these: green group, blue do, and what does it look like. So when we talk about green group, we're telling what group or category does something belong in. Blue do, we talk about what do you do with the item or what does it do. And this eyeball down here, what does it look like? That really describes the size, the shape, and the color. So we've focused a lot on these three areas when working on our vocabulary this year. I'm going to give a little example describing how this would work. If you're talking about a book, we would ask ourselves, okay, green group. What group of things does this book belong with? Well, it belongs with school things or things that we read, library things. It can belong in more than just one group. Now, if we're talking about something like a cookie, we might say a cookie belongs in the group of food, sweets, snacks. You can decide what group it belongs in. Some other ideas of categories are furniture, animals, tools, clothing, body parts, colors. These are all things that we've worked on in our speech group as well. Blue do. What do you do with a book? Well, you read it or you listen to it if you can't read yet. What do you do with a cookie? Well, we eat a cookie. That's what we would do with it. And then this eye down here, what does it look like? Here's an example. We can talk about the size, the shape, and the color. So for size, we could say this is medium-sized. What shape is it? It's a rectangle. What color is it? It's got red and blue. Those are kind of the main colors. Orange, yeah. For cookie, what does it look like? Cookies are small. What shape? Circles, usually. What color? Well, I see a light brown cookie and a dark brown cookie. So that's how we can use the EET to describe vocabulary. These other things, like the wood, what is it made of? Pink parts, white where, and this orange question mark, what else do you know? These are things we haven't really practiced yet this year. But if you'd like to just go above and beyond and work on these areas, I'll give an example of how we would talk about these next four. So for the wood colored one here, what is it made from? Well, a book is made from paper. What are cookies made from? Well, they're usually made from a mixture of sugar, flour, butter, just different ingredients like that. Pink parts, what parts does it have? This is kind of a tricky one. So for the book, we could say it has a front cover, a back cover, and pages in the middle. For cookies, what parts does it have? Well, really, it just has two main parts. It has the cookie dough, and for these, it has chocolate chips. White where? Where would you use it or where would you find it? Well, we could find a book in our house, in a library, in a store, lots of places. In a school. Cookies, where would we find it? Or where would we use it? Well, lots of places too. In our house, in a store, at school, sometimes we have cookies. This last one here, orange, or what else do I know? This can be kind of anything else you can think of to talk about. So for book, I might say, I know that this book is about a ninja wolf who tries to trick Little Red Riding Hood. For cookies, what else do I know? I could say, I know that these cookies taste very sweet, or I know that my mom makes chocolate chip cookies at home and I like them, or I don't like them. So that's how we can use this EET or Expanding Expressions tool to talk about our vocabulary. So I'm going to give you a couple words that I want you to try at home to try describing at least these first three areas. And if you want to go and be extra, do a lot of hard work, you can try all of them too. But just remember, we haven't really talked about these other ones, these last 4. So your vocabulary words for this week are rabbit, paintbrush, glue, bed, and blocks. Okay, so think about green group. What group do they belong in? Blue do. What do you do with them? Or what does it do? And then the eyeball, remember, that's what does it look like? What size, shape, and color are those things? Okay, so later this week, I'll come back on and share the answers to these vocabulary EET questions. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks, guys.